Bangor. From the Great Northwoods to the Rock Mountain Coast and streaming live in HD worldwide at foxbangor.com. More people choose good.
Whoa, look at that. Hello, everyone. Today on Good Morning Maine, we are going to a different dimension. Not really. On Good Morning Maine today, one department of a branch of Northern Light Hospitals announced yesterday plans to unionize.
Plus, a road that was recently washed out and closed has been reopened thanks to speedy repairs.
And a Down East high school that has been closed to students due to structural issues was able to open this week. I kind of like that. That's kind of freaky.
I know. That Craig and Emma squared.
There you go.
Or cubed.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. I'm Emma Smith. Thank you for joining us on Good Morning Maine.
And I'm Craig Colson. Things are off to kind of a funky start here today, but we kind of like that. Kind of go with it.
We're funky.
Yeah, we're totally funky.
And Devin Biggs has in his forecast today, there's some funky mummies. So
yeah, let's take a look at that. Looks like sunshine on the way, Devin.
Oh, looks like we're not having weather right now, so we can move on to our first story.
Having some technical difficulties. Let's see where this takes us. A man faces several charges after a standoff with police in Van Buren. Maine State Police spokesperson Shannon Moss says it was just before 9 Tuesday morning when police got a call from a woman saying her husband was allegedly being assaulted in an unprovoked attack. Are we still on the air?
We're off? Okay, good. Yeah, the switcher died. It just died.
Oh, bummer.
Oh.
I think Janet Mills has been a pretty okay governor. She's been a good governor. And, I think she's been a great governor. Okay, did I get it right?
Nice work, Angus.
Okay. Now, look, the formula seems to be no partisan brawls, working together with the parties, taking ideas from everybody.
Right. Turns out in this day and age, working together still pays off.
Who could believe it? See? Pretty okay.
I'll take it. Thanks, Angus.
You got 100 points.
Have you been moisturizing?
Just sunscreen.
That's 50 points.
With AARP rewards, anyone can earn points.
Who's got 200 points?
You've got 200 points.
It's the free loyalty program that rewards you.
They're ready for you.
That's 300 points.
And helps your money, health, and happiness live longer.
Are these times? 200 points.
Start earning and redeeming points today.
The Biden agenda in Washington is hitting Mainers with historic inflation, and Janet Mills is making things worse. Under Biden and Mills, Mainers will pay 72% more on home heating oil. And with family budgets already stretched to the breaking point, Mills has stretched them even further, imposing a grocery tax that increases monthly bills by $60. Maine families simply can't afford Janet Mills. The top funder of Maine Families First is Thomas Klingenstein.
Puzzles are easy. Family, that's a real challenge. I think we're all going in the right direction. Then they twist the opposite way. I go out on my own, and then they come around again. It happens rarely, but every once in a while we all go where we're supposed to go. And everything clicks into place.
Young Sheldon. Weekdays at 6 on Fox 22.
The news.
Let's move past. Yeah.
All right, I believe we're back on. Sorry about that, folks. We're having some technical issues. Sometimes computers just don't want to work. I'm sure you know the feeling. So let's just start things off where we left off with today's news. A man faces several charges after a standoff with police in Van Buren. A state police spokesperson says it was just before 9:30 Tuesday morning when state police got a call from a woman saying her husband was allegedly being assaulted in an unprovoked attack. It happened at 154 Castingway Road in Van Buren. The woman and her husband were able to leave the area and get to safety. Officials say when law enforcement did arrive, they found 35-year-old Corey Vick inside that residence. They say he allegedly told them that he had a firearm and would kill any officers if they entered the home. The state police tactical team was called in along with a crisis intervention team and attempted to contact him by phone. Officials say they worked throughout the night to de-escalate the situation without any success. And then approximately 6:30 Wednesday morning, the tactical team entered the home and took him into custody. Vic was taken to the hospital for treatment of minor injuries and is now facing numerous charges.
Some good news this morning for Glenburn residents. The Maine DOT has finished the work on the Pushaw Road and it is now open to traffic. On October 15th, heavy rain triggered a flood of water that eventually compromised the roadway. Since then, it has been a race to get the culvert replaced and the road back open. Yesterday, the finishing touches were completed to make the road safe for travel, and the road officially opened up yesterday at 3 p.m.
Governor Mills paid a visit to a Dexter-based organization that is keeping Mainers warm as temperatures drop. Window Dressers is a volunteer-run nonprofit that creates low-cost insulating window inserts. Their goal is to keep their customers warm while also lowering their heating costs. Governor Mills says she's not just a proud supporter of the organization, but also a proud customer.
This is all volunteer, and it's bound to bring down your costs, lower your dependency on oil or other fossil fuels for home heat, and to keep you safe in the winter.
For more information about ordering inserts or volunteering for Window Dressers, you can visit windowdressers.org.
Sumner Memorial High School has finally opened its doors for in-person learning after several months of delay. RSU 24 received a temporary certificate of occupancy after the fire marshal approved plans of installing a school sprinkler system. Up until last week, students at RSU 24 were learning remotely through Zoom. Sumner Memorial High School principal J.T. Green says that everyone is glad to be back in person.
This is just an amazing feeling, just to be able to see the kids return from, fortunately, the short stint of remote learning that we endured at the beginning of the school year. It's been great to see them back and to see them in class learning in person.
The construction of the new school began in August of 2016 and took more than 6 years to complete.
The soaring cost of childcare has been a major barrier to getting more young parents back to work post-pandemic. Now the state is touting millions of dollars in new investment to try to fix that problem. Mal Meyer was in Waterville with a closer look at what that money will do.
Providers say that previous investments have helped, but they know more families need childcare and at an affordable price. The $5.5 million announced by the Mills administration will come from the American Rescue Plan Act. The money will be used for 4 key areas.
We're going to try to incentivize child care providers to provide infant care. We're going to try to incentivize organizations interested in child care to set up a new child care center.
Maine DHHS also wants more providers to be trained in identifying mental health challenges in children.
So we have incentives for all of the above.
Plus, providers will be incentivized to serve lower-income families by awarding them $500 for each new child served through the Child Care Subsidy Program. This helps eligible families pay for child care so parents can go to school, job training, or work.
That's huge. That's a game changer. It's a game changer for families and for providers.
It helps lower the cost for families, in some cases by up to $180 per week. At the Boys and Girls Club and YMCA of Greater Waterville, they've had more families join the program since eligibility rules were last changed.
We actually have a designated staff position just for that purpose, to get families on the child care subsidy program.
This has had a ripple effect, allowing them to serve more people in the community.
The more money we recoup from the state, the more we're able to offer help to families that don't qualify for those kinds of programs.
The Maine State Police has released a statement that warns of scam calls that use a particular request. In these reported calls, the caller claims to be raising money for the Maine State Troopers Association. They have asked, if you receive one of these calls, to hang up. The Maine State Troopers Association represents the Troopers Union and does not solicit for money. They do, however, conduct fundraisers for charity, not, however, using phone calls.
Nurses have announced plans to unionize at Bangor's Northern Light Acadia Hospital. The AFL-CIO says 111 staff nurses and advanced practice nurses have filed with the American Federation of Teachers to gain a stronger voice in order to address safe staffing, patient safety, and other workplace issues. The National Labor Relations Board will be scheduling an election for the nurses in the coming weeks, where they'll have a chance to decide if they will officially unionize. Northern Light Acadia Hospital told us they have been notified that the American Federation of Teachers Union did give them material on October 21st, and they would prefer direct relationships with their employees and care teams, but they do plan to follow the appropriate process for an election. Well, the time now is 8:10. Coming up on Good Morning Maine, a local school is troubleshooting the issue of PFAS contamination in their water supply. We'll tell you about that.
But first, let's take a look at our forecast. Partly cloudy in the sky today, clearing up especially as the day goes on. Highs of around 65 degrees. A bit chilly tonight, breezy and clear. Highs around 34 degrees. Tomorrow, beautiful, mostly sunny. Highs of around 53 degrees.
I served our country during the Gulf War. We were fighting for freedom in the Middle East. But in Washington, Bruce Poliquin would take away freedoms Mainers have earned. He voted for a nationwide abortion ban and said he supported changing the Constitution. Poliquin would allow politicians to stand between women and their doctors, even in cases of rape and incest. We didn't fight for our freedoms for politicians like Bruce Poliquin to take them away.
DCCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
This is an important message for everyone on Medicare. Attention everyone on Medicare. Today we are talking about Medicare Part C, commonly called Medicare Advantage. If you don't have a Medicare Part C plan, call now because there may be plans with extra benefits simply not covered under Medicare Parts A and B. That's right, there are people on Medicare but don't have a Medicare Part C plan, which covers everything in Part A and Part B, plus some may include extra benefits only in Medicare Part C. Here's the good news. Everyone on Medicare can call now during the Medicare annual enrollment period. We will check to see if you may be missing out on a Medicare Part C plan with additional benefits. Call the number on your screen. Don't wait. The deadline for the annual enrollment period is December 7th. Call to speak with a licensed insurance agent. You don't get Medicare Part C plan benefits automatically, so call now before the deadline for your free, no-obligation Medicare benefits review. Just call 800-804-9851. 800-804-9851.
A Day in the War on the Middle Class by Jared Golden and the Democrats. That day, Jared Golden voted to raise taxes on low and middle income Americans, double the size of the IRS, drive up home heating and gas prices, and empower new regulators who will hurt Maine's lobster industry.
But it's not too late to do something about it.
Yeah, we can stop their war on the middle class. Defeat Jared Golden. The NRCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. The state of Maine is requiring all schools to test their water supply for harmful chemicals and to make immediate changes if they're found. Devin Dagnall spoke to officials at one of the schools now grappling with this issue.
Large amounts of PFAS were found in the Coralville Middle School water supply, and officials are taken aback to say the least.
I think our main concern is that we don't know anything about it.
PFAS are chemical compounds from everyday objects that have contaminated many water sources, not just in the state, but all over the country. According to experts, long-term exposure to PFAS can cause a lot of health complications, many of them serious. According to new Maine state guidelines, all schools must test their water supplies for PFAS contamination and submit their results by December 31st, 2022. After learning of the contamination, RSU 87 acted quickly.
We immediately brought in some water bubblers, so we're supplying drinking water through that. We brought in another water source for our kitchen to cook with. They say we're fine for cleaning and washing hands. So we've taken care of that initially while we try to figure out how to resolve the situation.
Mark Turner, the superintendent of RSU 87, says that the school is still not sure what the plan is for a permanent solution. Turner says the district plans on either working with the state through a grant program or just working directly with local companies to update their filtration system. In the meantime, the school staff is working hard to keep community members and students safe and informed.
We communicated it to the community, to the staff, and to the students. They're middle school students and can definitely handle the information. We put signs up at all of our water sources and worked with all the water fountains to make sure they're not functional.
Coralville Middle School principal Nicole Middleswart says students don't seem to be overly anxious about the situation, and the staff says they seem to be rolling with it.
A couple of kids ask questions and we answer it with the same information that we gave the community, and the kids are good with it and go about their day.
In Carmel, I'm Devin Dagnall. Reporting for ABC7 and Fox 22.
Oh, meanwhile, thousands of acres of Maine forest land will be preserved thanks to a special purchase. The Frenchman Bay Conservancy announced it has secured easements on more than 3,000 acres in the Aurora area. A portion of that is in the Union River headwaters and will remain forever wild. According to the Ellsworth American, there are no plans to create trails in the area, but the public will still be able to use it for hunting and fishing. Officials say the purchase is the result of a lot of work by several organizations and landowners who saw the need to conserve their lands as wild. The two easements include an area known as the Whale's Back along Route 9 and will be forever protected.
New tests also found forever chemicals in a mid-coast Maine watershed. And as Brad Rogers found, there's new concern those chemicals may now be contaminating fish as well.
The comprehensive report released by Friends of Merrymeeting Bay provide direct first-time evidence of continued PFAS leakage from the former Brunswick Naval Air Station reaching the watershed.
Well, the question was, in my mind, what's making it to the river?
Ed Friedman and others sampled 30 sites on the Androscoggin and Kennebec rivers and several creeks that lead to Merrymeeting Bay. He says the testing found 19 different PFAS toxins in the water. The question is, are fish caught in these contaminated waters safe to eat?
PFAS is sort of the new kid on the block, but we've had advisories out for mercury here statewide for many, many years.
Of the 30 sites tested, the highest levels were found in 3 creeks that drain from the Brunswick Naval Air Station into the Androscoggin River. The highest level was 922 parts per trillion, well above what the EPA considers a safe level. In fact, recent tests on the former airbase found 2 types of PFAS used in firefighting foams.
When you have an obvious point source like the Brunswick Naval Air Station, and the firefighting foam is probably leaking out still, then you really need to address, when you know where it is, you need to address the problem and you need to address it quickly and effectively.
Testing also found high levels of PFAS in the Androscoggin River, where the Brunswick Sewer District releases treated water.
We're not required to treat for PFAS. We don't even know what that level would be at this point.
Rob Ponteau with the Brunswick Sewer District says he's not surprised by the results. He and Friedman say it's now up to the state to do their own testing and come up with an advisory on eating fish caught in these waters.
It's certainly concerning. There's no doubt. Until we know more about the appropriate levels that you can eat in fish and so forth. I mean, I'm an avid hunter, so last year when the state closed down the area around the Fairfield area, that certainly concerned me and most of my staff.
As Brad Rogers reporting almost an environmental theme today, students in Bar Harbor are helping local officials detect an invisible threat there. Matthew Juronsik explains.
The town of Bar Harbor is teaming up with MDI Biological Laboratory in the Connors Emerson School and advising members of the community to test their wells.
We do a project called All About Arsenic, and we work closely with MDI Biolab, where students actually take kits home, test their well water, and the data then comes back to us.
Students would then come back with the information, create trifolds educating the public about the dangers of arsenic in well water. In its second year, Hannah has high expectations for the program.
So the goal this year is to get 100 test kits in the town of Bar Harbor. Last year we had about 35, 36 kits. And again, the kids being more a part of handing out those kits and becoming more aware and talking to townspeople.
The program comes after elevated arsenic levels were detected in more than a tenth of the wells sampled so far.
Arsenic is a huge concern for human health worldwide. And there's this federal MCL limit of arsenic of 10 micrograms per liter that's enforced across Maine.
The kids say it's being able to interact with the community on an important problem that appeals to them the most.
Well, it's kind of fun because we get to do a little experiments and we get to make posters and trifolds and stuff to help people know if they have arsenic in their wells.
It really means a lot that we get this opportunity with our young minds to help our community and share how important it is to test your well water for arsenic.
Matthew Juronsik, ABC7 and Fox 22.
Well, Maine lobstermen and their families will gather in Stonington today to have their photos taken as part of a special project. Award-winning photographer Cheryl Clegg has been doing a special series of portraits to raise awareness about the ongoing battle between lobstermen and new regulations that threaten the industry.
This will be followed by a big rally on Sunday that's expected to attract fishing families from all along the coast. They say regulations imposed to protect right whales are too strict and will end up hurting all the industries that depend on lobster to make a living. That includes members of a lobsterman's family in Stonington who created this very special video. Melissa and Rosalie Bailey wanted to show some of the lives that could be impacted. Really is a neat video too. It continues on. It's like 5 minutes long, and it can be found on YouTube, but we'll put a post on our website later on, so you can check it out if you want. And it really is, it accomplishes what they're trying to do, and it kind of puts a human face to what's going on out there. It's real lives we're talking about.
I know the human face aspect is important when people come in and visit our state. I mean, you see like lobster everything, but it's like you forget the people who are doing the fishing, and that's really what it should be.
We need to find a balance between these environmental concerns, because they're real concerns out there, but at the same time, we want to protect people that are trying to make a living out there.
This is a heritage industry, and it's the backbone of a lot of people, a lot of local economies. So, absolutely.
It kind of ripples through the whole economy.
Yep,
All
absolutely.
right, let's turn our attention to the forecast, too. Finally, we have some good news. After a couple of days of rain, it looks like the sunshine's going to finally return.
Devin?
Alrighty, Craig and Emma, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Shepherd Toyota, your hometown connection for Toyota cars and trucks. Easy to find on Route 1 Rockland Thomason Town Line. Shepherd Toyota has a great selection of new and previously loved vehicles. At Shepherd Toyota, they don't sell you a car, they help you buy one. Come experience the Shepherd difference today. Alrighty, here we are. Small craft advisories. That's a big story this morning, lasting until 11 a.m. on Friday, though, as gusty winds today and tonight will be an issue for some of the smaller craft along the shoreline. But of course, we did have some rain moving through recently, though, and has now gotten out of here. And the clouds will be breaking up throughout the rest of the day, giving way to sunshine. But once the clouds break up, temperatures will also fall. We'll make our high temperature in the mid-60s by about late morning, and then temperatures will fall during the afternoon period. And we have this cold front to thank for that, though, and that'll help to usher in some cooler air in our direction just in time for tomorrow. But some nicer days will also be on the way. But gusty winds, that'll be the big story. We'll be out of the northwest today, reaching around 30 miles per hour at times. These are the peak wind gusts possible throughout the day. But look what happens. They'll gradually start to back off to around 20 miles per hour overnight tonight. Then a lot calmer as we head towards tomorrow morning. And the wave heights are definitely up at around 3 to 10 feet according to some of the buoys out there, though. That right there is why we do have small craft advisories along the coast until Friday morning. Our average high is 54 degrees. We'll reach for the middle 60s today, then falling to the lower 50s Friday. But warming back up into the upper 50s for Saturday. The lower 60s make a return Sunday. Then we're kind of up and down between the 50s and 60s for the next several days, though. So overall, temperature's pretty nice for this time of the year, especially when they're above that average high of 54 degrees. So moving forward, though, decreasing clouds today, giving way to a lot of sunshine during the afternoon with falling temperatures as well. Will be mostly clear later on tonight. Then by tomorrow, though, a nice way to start things off with a lot of sunshine for your Friday. Maybe a few passing clouds from time to time, but a few dry days on the way for the next few days at least. So your forecast for today, middle 60s, decreasing clouds and falling temperatures as well. High temperatures hit by around midday in the mid-60s and falling, the northwest wind getting up to around 30 miles per hour. Later on tonight, mostly clear, still breezy out there, lows in the middle 30s, the northwest wind gusting up to around 20 miles per hour. Tomorrow, a lot better, lower 50s, so a little bit cooler, mostly sunny, northwest wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Alrighty, here's a look at your Shepherd Toyota extended forecast. Now, Halloween themed as well. We're pretty nice for the next several days, so talk about a treat, right? With a lot of sunshine Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Temperatures in the 50s and 60s. However, on Halloween, that's when the trick kicks in. Rain chances on the way, temperatures in the upper 50s.
I was a public health nurse for 29 years. I went into the homes of my neighbors, including many seniors, and cared for them. Then Paul LePage became governor, and everything changed. He kicked seniors off Maine's low-cost prescription drug plan. He cut a Social Security program when it was needed most, and even opposed Meals on Wheels funding. How cruel is that? We can't go back to Paul LePage.
The top funder of Better Maine is the Democratic Governors Association.
Renovating or building new, you'll find a wide selection of high-performing, energy-efficient, and beautiful windows and doors at Hammond Lumber Company. Your Hammond sales representative will walk you through the showroom displays and help you choose options to create a personalized custom look. Free in-home measurement is available, and Hammond can deliver your order from any of their locations across Maine and New Hampshire. Bring your vision and enjoy better light and added security and energy savings with quality windows and doors from Hammond Lumber Company.
I'm Jared Golden. Seeing some Washington politicians try and enrich themselves makes you think of this. That's why I'm working to clean up Congress by banning members from using insider information to trade individual stocks, and why I'm leading the way to stop taxpayer-funded pay raises for Congress. And I'm not taking any PAC money from big corporations that already have too much influence in Washington. I'm Jared Golden, and I approve this message to clean up Congress.
I'm a Republican.
I'm a Republican.
I was a Republican state senator, and I voted for Paula Page, but I won't again.
Never again.
Tantrums, distractions,
fighting.
It's just bad behavior that costs Maine.
Janet Mills, she brings people together.
She doesn't care whose idea it is, as long as it's good for Maine.
She balanced budgets without raising taxes.
We're Mainers,
not complainers.
And that's why I'm voting for Janet Mills.
She fights problems, not people.
And that's our kind of governor.
Abortion is one of the main issues in the midterms, but some prominent lawmakers say focusing on the issue isn't a winning strategy for Democrats. Madeline Rivera explains as one Supreme Court justice sounds off on the unprecedented draft opinion leak overruling Roe v. Wade.
Supreme Court Justice Samuel Alito did not hold back when addressing his leaked draft opinion to overturn Roe v. Wade.
It was a grave betrayal of trust by somebody, and it was a shock because nothing like that had happened in the past.
But the leak was more than just a breach of trust, says Alito, adding it also put justices' lives at risk.
It gave people a rational reason to think they could prevent that from happening by killing one of us.
In June, a California man was arrested and charged with attempting to murder Justice Brett Kavanaugh. Police say the man was upset with a leaked draft opinion. Democrats who are campaigning to restore abortion rights nationwide are hoping the issue gives them a boost in the midterms. They did see a bounce in the polls after the Supreme Court reversed Roe v. Wade. Now that bump is fading.
Abortion as a topic has went down in the polls compared to the issues of the economy, inflation, even immigration and crime, some of those things that Republicans have focused on.
It's a potential warning sign for Democrats with less than 2 weeks to go before the midterms.
If you sort of overemphasize the social issues at the expense of the fiscal ones, that you could come across as a bit fringe.
With the economy the main concern for voters, President Biden says his administration will crack down on hidden and overdraft fees to help Americans struggling with inflation. In Washington, Madeline Rivera, Fox News.
Ford takes a huge quarterly profit loss and drops its self-driving initiative. Ford posted a net loss of $827 million and also took a $2.7 billion hit on its investment with Argo Artificial Intelligence. Argo was the artificial intelligence system that Ford shared in partnership with Volkswagen to develop self-driving vehicles in cities like Miami and Austin, Texas. Both companies held about a 39% stake in Argo. Argo will continue its self-driving mission, and both Ford and Volkswagen will hire personnel from Argo.
All right, when we return, sportsmen, we'll check out some sportsmen during the Special Olympics bowling. They were doing, what I'm trying to say is some special people were doing some bowling yesterday in Bangor.
Yes, sportsmanship. That's
sportsmanship.
I know, a lot of syllables in that one. Plus, a local hospital has a new art installation. This and more as Good Morning Maine continues.
The Biden agenda in Washington is hitting Mainers with historic inflation, and Janet Mills is making things worse. Under Biden and Mills, Mainers will pay 72% more on home heating oil. And with family budgets already stretched to the breaking point, Mills has stretched them even further, imposing a grocery tax that increases monthly bills by $60. Maine families simply can't afford Janet Mills. The top funder of Maine Families First is Thomas Klingenstein.
Steve Harvey powers the X Team.
If roles were reversed, what might a turkey do to you on Thanksgiving?
Eat my drumstick.
Loaded with X Team confidence.
Some men are shaped like what kind of nut?
Nutcracker.
And X Team powers.
Fill in the blank. Blank Daddy.
Hot dog.
You'll love the X Team.
Hot dog Daddy.
On Family Feud.
Weeknights at 7 on Fox 22. You're watching Fox 22, Bangor.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. Today is Thursday, October 27th, 2022. 65 days left in the year. On this day in history in 1978. The typo almost got me again. 1978. Egyptian President Anwar Sadat and Israeli Prime Minister Menachem Begin were named the winners of the Nobel Peace Prize for their progress toward achieving a Middle East peace accord.
In 1914, the first rapid transit subway system was inaugurated in New York City.
And in 2004, the Red Sox won their first World Series since 1918, ending the curse of the Bambino.
You know what Bambino means in Italian?
Little baby?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I only knew
like
that because I worked at a pizza place, and the
the-
Bambino pizza size was.
I think that's
Yes.
why I know it too, the Bambino size.
Right.
Today's birthdays include country singer Lee Greenwood, who is 80 years old.
Author Fran Lebowitz is 72, and actor-comedian John Cleese is 83.
Happy birthday to all of them.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're in Maine today, but if they were, they would be having much better weather.
I know. It's clearing up. We had plenty of days of rain, and finally a bit of reprieve and warmth. But Devin has all the details.
And thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Happy Thursday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Shepherd Toyota, your hometown connection for Toyota cars and trucks. Easy to find on Route 1 Rockland Thomas and Town Line. Shepherd Toyota has a great selection of new and previously loved vehicles. At Shepherd Toyota, they don't sell you a car, they help you buy one. Come experience the Shepherd difference today. Alrighty, here we are. We do have swell crowd advisories in effect, and this will last until Friday at 11 a.m. No gusty winds will continue to be an issue today and in parts of tonight. Before tomorrow, things finally begin to calm down, and things will begin to get a little on the nicer side. We did have some rain moving through yesterday, though. Here's the last little bit of that, and then last night things began to calm down. And today things will continue to calm down too as the sky clears out, but temperatures, that's the big story. Temperatures will be falling throughout the day as this cold front moves in from the southwest to the north and east. Our high temperatures hit during the late morning, early afternoon period and falling throughout the rest of the afternoon. So of course all that in mind though, we'll be under a partly cloudy sky overall as the sun comes out during the afternoon. Will be mostly clear tonight as temperatures fall into the 30s. Otherwise, though, here's that wind right there out of the northwest today at around 15 miles per hour with some gusts even up to 30 miles per hour with that gusty northwest wind to help to push some cooler air in our direction. Your hourly forecast for the rest of the morning period showing temperatures in the 60s, then falling through the afternoon as the clouds get out of here. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Emma.
All right, thank you very much, Devin. Well, there were a lot of smiles at the Family Fun Bowling Center in Bangor yesterday. Special Olympians are competing in the 2022 area bowling games.
It was their turn to shine as various groups of students and adults all put their hard work and practice to the test.
This is my first year doing it.
Competing and having much fun. With my friends.
Have you seen the smiles running around and everybody's just cheering and yelling, and I'm losing my voice already?
More adults will be back at the Family Fun Bowling Center today to continue bowling games.
Well, those who visit St. Joseph Hospital will notice the vibrant new art along the walls. The hospital is displaying the work of local artists as part of a new idea to make the space part hospital, part art gallery.
These pieces were installed yesterday by artist Jill Hoy from Stonington. She has 27 works of art on the walls there that are mainly oil paintings of the great outdoors.
I think there's a trend in hospitals to go for the healing arts and how nourishing art is, and I think people don't think of it being so.
Many of these paintings depict the Maine coast. Jill wanted to represent a broad selection of Maine, but says since she lives in a lobstering community and with their issues with NOAA, that she wanted to highlight the lobstermen to some extent.
And it looks beautiful, too. When we come back, Tyler Cruz will be here with sports. We also have a very special guest in the studio, all the way from Sesame Street.
All the way, yeah. We'll be back with all the fun.
I would love to retire. The truth is, because of Joe Biden and Jared Golden's policies, there is no way that I can retire. What Jared Golden does and what Jared Golden says are 180 degrees apart. When Jared Golden goes to D.C., he votes the party line. Gas prices, our groceries. Jared Golden's votes are definitely making inflation worse. We need to make a change. We need Bruce Poliquin.
I'm Bruce Poliquin, and I approve this message.
A Day in the War on the Middle Class by Jared Golden and the Democrats. That day, Jared Golden voted to raise taxes on low and middle income Americans, double the size of the IRS, drive up home heating and gas prices, and empower new regulators who will hurt Maine's lobster industry.
But it's not too late to do something about it.
Yeah, we can stop their war on the middle class. Defeat Jared Golden. The NRCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Hear that music? It can only mean breakfast bagels are back at McDonald's. Imagine a fluffy egg, 2 slices of cheese, plus your choice of a steak patty, bacon, or sausage, all in a toasted bagel. That's right, the steak, egg, and cheese bagel, bacon, egg, and cheese bagel, and sausage, egg, and cheese bagels are all back, but only for a limited time at McDonald's.
After 9/11, Jared Golden joined the Marines and served the country he loves. When he returned, he ran for office to serve the state he calls home. He passed legislation to cap the cost of insulin for seniors and lower drug prices for people across Maine. But Bruce Poliquin, he went from Wall Street to Washington to serve himself, taking thousands from drug companies and voting against capping costs. Jared Golden, from here, for us. Moderate PAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
The Maine Black Bears take on the Richmond Spiders this Saturday at 1 on ABC 7.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. Maine football has a huge matchup against 17th-ranked Richmond this weekend, but they're not the only football team up in Orono preparing for a big game on Saturday. The Orono Red Riots are getting ready for the 8-man small semifinals Saturday after a huge quarterfinal win this past Friday. Orono took a 51-46 victory at Bucksport in really a hard-fought back-and-forth matchup with the Bucks, avenging that regular season loss to them with a win when it mattered most. And leading the way for Orono in that one, Jack Brewer and Will Francis. Francis, the wide receiver, Brewer, the quarterback, connected with Francis for 7 touchdowns on the night. And Francis had over 200 receiving yards. Both players say this came simply from them relying on each other.
It's great. You know, he was open a lot, and I hit him a lot. So I think it's the trust, right? The trust with him, and I just know he's going to be there where I throw it.
He just puts the ball in the right places always. Just perfect spirals, always in the right place where the defense can't get it.
The Riots are traveling to Dexter this Saturday to take on the reigning state champs and the currently undefeated Tigers. Now, these two also met in the regular season, with Orono holding a lead late in the game, but the Tigers mounted a big comeback to take a 38-34 victory. The Riots believe they can right the ship, though, if they can keep it balanced.
They got a couple guys that can really kill other teams, as we've seen in other games that they've had. So we really just got to contain them, get stops, and our offense will just come.
We're going to play tighter as a team, and we're going to perform better offensively, and I think that'll be ours.
All right, looking forward to see that matchup on Saturday. Tons of fun high school action on Saturday. Let's stay with high school sports now, though. Soccer and field hockey quarterfinals continuing throughout the state. Semifinals next before the regional champs are crowned next week. Let's start with some field hockey down at Thomas College. Quarterfinal matchup in Class B. Herman taking on Nokomis. It's 1-0 Nokomis in the first. Here's Madeline Rundy knifing her way through to push it past into the goal. That makes it 2-0 Warriors. Second quarter now. Guess who? Rundy again, this time on the penalty corner. She gets the feed from Brianna Townsend and sends it past the goalie. That makes it 3-0 Nokomis. Despite the score, though, Herman fighting hard. They had some nice plays here, too. Here's Roundy looking for the hat trick, but Abby Gray gets in the way for a nice takeaway. Keeps it 3-0. 6 minutes left in the second now. Townsend to Rundy to Mia Seahusson on the doorstep. A great bang-bang play there. That makes it 4-0. Warriors will go to the second half. Early third quarter. Nokomis would finish the job. Rundy sends it in, and Ava Lovely with a lovely deflection for the score. Nokomis wins this one 5-0, and they move into the semis. Let's go to boys soccer now. John Baptist and Caribou in a rainy quarterfinal matchup. Baps here, they have a chance early on. A good ball is going to find Ellis Columber, who fires, but a save made from Logan White right there. We are scoreless. Still scoreless here, and still in the first. Henry Hebert with a breakaway chance for the Vikes. He gets a chance, but Matt Fitzpatrick is there for the stop. Both goalies impressive early on. After some camera malfunctions, I can't imagine why, we whipped out the trusty iPhone, and we caught Jack Mason with an impressive move here to find the net. John Baptist gets wet, but they get the win, 6-1, and they advance to the semis. All right, let's check out some other scores now. In the Class D boys quarterfinal, Bangor Christian over Lee Academy, 4-0. In Class A boys soccer, Brunswick and Brewer, a tight one. Brunswick would score just early in the second half and hold on to that 1-0 lead for the win. In Class C field hockey, Dexter and Central with a close win over Orono, 2-1. And then in Class A field hockey, Skowhegan stays perfect. They win 6-0 over Camden Hills. All right, let's go to some hoops now. Professional basketball is back in Portland, with the Maine Celtics and their season tipping off next week at home against the Westchester Knicks. This week, they are holding their first team practice of the season under new head coach Alex Barlow. Barlow's been an assistant with the organization for the past 3 seasons. The Celtics, who have a seasoned veteran roster led by two-way players J.D. Davidson, who is out, and Fianu Cabangeli, who hails from Burlington, Canada. Fianu is a 6'10 power forward who was a first-round pick back in 2019. He's also the nephew of former NBA great Dikembe Mutombo, who recently underwent treatment for a brain tumor. Fianu says Dikembe is in good spirits, and he has learned quite a bit from his Hall of Fame uncle.
Actually listening to what he says and consistently doing it is kind of why I've been having a little bit of success so far. So he's been teaching me a lot, making sure I get my sleep in, make sure I have a routine. Because once I have that consistency outside of basketball, my basketball will be consistent. So he's been really great.
Certainly an interesting connection down in Portland. That is all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
I served our country during the Gulf War. We were fighting for freedom in the Middle East. But in Washington, Bruce Poliquin would take away freedoms Mainers have earned. He voted for a nationwide abortion ban and said he supported changing the Constitution. Poliquin would allow politicians to stand between women and their doctors, even in cases of rape and incest. We didn't fight for our freedoms for politicians like Bruce Poliquin to take them away.
DCCC is responsible for the content of this advertising. This is an important message for everyone on Medicare. Attention everyone on Medicare. Today we are talking about Medicare Part C, commonly called Medicare Advantage. If you don't have a Medicare Part C plan, call now because there may be plans with extra benefits simply not covered under Medicare Parts A and B. That's right, there are people on Medicare but don't have a Medicare Part C plan, which covers everything in Part A and Part B, plus some may include extra benefits only in Medicare Part C. Here's the good news. Everyone on Medicare can call now during the Medicare annual enrollment period. We will check to see if you may be missing out on a Medicare Part C plan with additional benefits. Call the number on your screen. Don't wait. The deadline for the annual enrollment period is December 7th. Call to speak with a licensed insurance agent. You don't get Medicare Part C plan benefits automatically, so call now before the deadline for your free, no-obligation Medicare benefits review. Just call 800-804-9851. 800-804-9851.
I'm Jared Golden, and I approve this message.
Veterans need a congressman who's got their backs. Jared Golden does. Jared's a veteran himself and worked with Republicans and Democrats to get the VA to build an inpatient facility in Maine to treat mental health and substance use disorders. Bruce Poliquin didn't have my back. Poliquin helped create a commission that wants to close VA facilities across Maine, forcing veterans to travel even further for VA care. Veterans can't trust Bruce Poliquin.
guys. Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. We are joined today by Aranzo and Elmo.
Elmo's in the studio.
Elmo's here today, a special guest. Yes. So you guys are here today, for Sesame Street Live.
Yes, we are here. We are making magic with Sesame Street Live Make Your Magic. It's a highly interactive, musically driven show featuring so many of your favorite Sesame Street pals. Of course, we have Elmo.
Of course.
We have his friend Abby Kadabi. We have Big Bird, Cookie Monster, and his chef pal Gonger, Rosita, Grover, the Count. Everyone's here. And what's going on is that Elmo and his friend Abby take audiences down Sesame Street on a magical journey as they discover the magic in everyday life. And in doing so, they learn about the power of yet, which is a lesson that with enough perseverance and practice, nothing can keep you from achieving your special dream or goal.
That is a good lesson for everybody.
Yeah, not only for the kids, but also for the parents as well.
There's magic in every day.
In everyday life.
Elmo, you are the magic. Did you know that? Has anybody told you that today?
Oh my God, sometimes. Well, it's so wonderful because some of the magic in everyday life, did you know that mixing colors like red and blue making purple?
That's one of my favorite magic tricks.
And what I think Big Bird was seen also learning the magic of shadows as well. And how magical those are.
Right. Yeah, and 'tis the season, the shadows are getting longer.
They're getting longer with winter coming and everything. Yeah, so magic is everywhere, right, Elmo?
And it's going to be a full day of magic for you guys, right? You're starting the first show at 2:30.
Yes, we're going to be at the Cross Insurance Center, and we're doing 2 shows today and 2 shows tomorrow. So for today, that's 2:30 p.m. and 6 o'clock p.m.
Wow.
And tomorrow, we get to make magic all over again at 10:30 a.m. and 2:30 p.m.
Wow.
And for those tickets, you can go to SesameStreetLive.com.
Awesome.
You guys really spread sunshine wherever you go.
We try and spread the sunny days wherever we go, you know?
Nice.
And the sun cleared up as you guys came in. We've had a rainy couple of days, so you are our good luck charm.
Wow. Wow, we do just what the song says, right? Sunny days.
Right. I know, and with new parents and everything, a lot of parents now grew up with Sesame Street. I know you mentioned a few characters that I don't know, so that's really exciting for people to learn when the show, and what better way to learn than live?
Exactly, and what's so special is that Sesame Street has been around for over 50 years, so it's multi-generational. So you have grandparents that are introducing their grandkids to these characters that they grew up with, and it's a special moment, especially when everyone is singing Sunny Days together in the audience. It's a nice moment. Right. It's a wonderful moment.
But that includes old Anchormen, too. I watched
it. You watched it growing up?
Yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah.
See? Everyone loves Sesame Street.
And Elmo has been here with us for all of it.
All of it. All of it. He and Big Bird and Cookie Monster, everyone. Oh, but in speaking of that, I think we have a wonderful trick that we'd love to show you.
Oh, we'd love it.
Would you like to
see? Yeah.
Okay, so Elmo's been practicing some magic. Would you like to see?
Oh my gosh, I love magic.
So now, he holds out the handkerchief. He shows that there's nothing in it. See, nothing. Then Elmo puts the handkerchief over his hand, and he has to say the magic words, Sesa-you, Sesame. Can you say that with us?
Sesa-you?
Sesa-you?
Sesame.
Oh, how about that?
Look at that for me. Oh, thank you.
So magical.
Wow.
And there's much more magic. Just come and see us at Sesame Street Live Make Your Magic.
Okay, well, I hope that you guys sell out because you are the magic luck charm that we've needed.
Oh,
thank you guys.
Elmo. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
I get to tell all the kids I met Elmo in person today. So
I know.
I'm looking forward to that.
Right.
So it's pretty cool. Nice to meet you, Elmo.
Can I have a hug, though.
Oh, yes. Get that special Elmo hug. Oh, and a kiss, too.
Well, okay.
That's so special.
Well, we'll throw it over to weather with Devin Biggs now.
Alrighty, Craig and Emma, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Shepherd Toyota, your hometown connection for Toyota cars and trucks. Easy to find on Route 1 Rockland Thomason Town Line. Shepherd Toyota has a great selection of new and previously loved vehicles. At Shepherd Toyota, they don't sell you a car, they help you buy one. Come experience the Shepherd difference today. Alrighty, here we are, Small Credit Advisory. That's a big story this morning, lasting until 11 a.m. on Friday, though, as gusty winds today and tonight will be an issue for some of the smaller craft along the shoreline. But of course, we did have some rain moving through recently, though, and has now gotten out of here. And the clouds will be breaking up throughout the rest of the day, giving way to sunshine. But once the clouds break up, temperatures will also fall. We'll make our high temperature in the mid-60s by about late morning, and then temperatures will fall during the afternoon period. And we have this cold front to thank for that, though, and that'll help to usher in some cooler air in our direction just in time for tomorrow. But some nicer days will also be on the way. But gusty winds, that'll be the big story. We'll be out of the northwest today, reaching around 30 miles per hour at times. These are the peak wind gusts possible throughout the day. But look what happens. They'll gradually start to back off to around 20 miles per hour overnight tonight. Then a lot calmer as we head towards tomorrow morning. And the wave heights are definitely up at around 3 to 10 feet according to some of the buoys out there, though. That right there is why we do have small craft advisories along the coast until Friday morning. Our average high is 54 degrees. We'll reach for the middle 60s today, then falling to the lower 50s Friday. But warming back up into the upper 50s for Saturday. The lower 60s make a return Sunday. Then we're kind of up and down between the 50s and 60s for the next several days, though. So overall, temperatures pretty nice for this time of the year, especially when they're above that average high of 54 degrees. So moving forward, though, decreasing clouds today, giving way to a lot of sunshine during the afternoon with falling temperatures as well. Will be mostly clear later on tonight. Then by tomorrow, though, a nice way to start things off with a lot of sunshine for your Friday. Maybe a few passing clouds from time to time, but a few dry days on the way for the next few days at least. So your forecast for today, middle 60s, decreasing clouds and falling temperatures as well. High temperatures hit by around midday in the mid 60s and falling, the northwest wind getting up to around 30 miles per hour. Later on tonight, mostly clear, still breezy out there, lows in the middle 30s, the northwest wind gusting up to around 20 miles per hour. Tomorrow a lot better, lower 50s, so a little bit cooler, mostly sunny, northwest wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Alrighty, here's a look at your Chevrolet Toyota extended forecast. Now Halloween themed as well. We're pretty nice for the next several days, so talk about a treat, right? With a lot of sunshine Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Temperatures in the 50s and 60s. However, on Halloween, that's when the trick kicks in. Rain chances on the way, temperatures in the upper 50s.
If you're a Medicare beneficiary and live in the area, call now to see how this little card could get you some big benefits, including money added back to your Social Security check. With one toll-free call, you can find out how easy it is to get all of your original Medicare coverage, plus extra benefits. You get an all-in-one plan designed to fit your needs so you can be your best every day. You could have medical coverage, prescription drugs with $0 generics, dental, vision and hearing, plus the WellCare Visa Flex Card, money for over-the-counter items, and money back in your Social Security check each month, and so much more. And here's more good news. You can get a WellCare plan for a $0 monthly premium. How can WellCare offer all of those benefits for a $0 monthly premium? It's simple. Medicare Advantage and Medicare Part D prescription drug coverage are important parts of Medicare. WellCare has a contract with Medicare to offer and provide these important options to you. Call right now to get your free copy of the WellCare All-in-One Guide. Call 1-866-819-7962 now. There is absolutely no obligation for requesting this free information. WellCare offers benefits that go beyond the basics, including money added to your Social Security check to help cover your Part B premium. Call today to get your free copy of the All-in-One Guide with absolutely no obligation. Your free plan guide will give you the details you need to make a smart choice for your Medicare coverage. Just call 1-866-819-7962. Remember, there's no obligation for requesting this free information. So call 1-866-819-7962. WellCare. Call today.
The countdown to Halloween is entering its final days, but are you prepared to keep you and your family safe?
Fox News' Steve Rappaport takes a look at what medical professionals say is one of the most critical dangers threatening you and your loved ones this spooky season.
As Halloween approaches, health officials say it's never too early to teach your kids about staying safe while trick-or-treating, with medical experts citing how cars, not candy, are the real dangers this spooky season.
Almost all the stories of poisoning or things like that or tampered with candy turn out either to be pranks or to be apocryphal, in the sense that when they're followed up by the police, they're not real. The few times there have been real instances of candy being laced with drugs or poison, it's almost always been family members. And the danger's coming from inside the house, not from other houses.
Instead, healthcare professionals warn pedestrian accidents are more common on Halloween than any other night of the year.
Lots of them are out when they would not usually be, and drivers aren't used to that. Secondly, it's often during rush hour when people are trying to get home from work, and so there's lots of cars on the road. Third, it gets dark often, and sometimes trick-or-treating occurs in the dark, and that makes it really hard for cars to be seen. In addition, kids sometimes run out onto the roads.
If you can, go trick-or-treating while it's still light outside. Officials also advise not putting children in dark-colored costumes or masks that can obstruct their vision. Never let kids go out unsupervised, provide them with flashlights or reflective gear, and take them around neighborhoods you're familiar with.
Happy Halloween to you.
Steve Rappaport, Fox News.
You've got your Halloween costume already?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a Grim Reaper.
There you go. That'll be a fun one.
Very spooky. I wanted to go spooky. Yeah. But hey, moving on for now, let's throw it over to Hollywood Nation and see what's going on in cinemas.
Jordan, to your right, please. Peel leads Sausage Party gets cooking again, and Rihanna returns to music in the Hollywood Nation. Yeah! Rihanna is dropping new music for the first time since her 2016 album, Anti. The superstar singer shared a preview of her new song, Lift Me Up, the lead single from the upcoming Black Panther Wakanda Forever soundtrack. She co-wrote it as a tribute to the life and legacy of Chadwick Boseman. It will be released Friday. Now I only soak up wine. Grab a glass and check out Adele's new visuals. The Grammy-winning singer released the music video to her song I Drink Wine from her latest album, 30. It features the singer floating down a lazy river wearing a gold sequin dress while holding a glass of wine. Get ready, boys!
Seth Rogen's 2016 animated film Sausage Party is getting a spin-off. Rogen is teaming up with Prime Video to develop a new TV series called Sausage Party Foodtopia. He will be joined by some of the original voice cast from the movie, including Kristen Wiig, Will Forte, and Michael Cera. The 8-course television event will be served up in 2024.
What's a bad miracle?
And the nominees for the 2022 People's Choice Awards have been revealed. Jordan Peele's sci-fi thriller Nope dominates the movie category with 6 nominations, including 2 each for stars Daniel Kaluuya and Keke Palmer. On the TV side, the hit family drama This Is Us leads with 6 nods, and Fox's The Masked Singer is also among the competition show nominees. Saturday Night Live star Kenan Thompson returns to host the ceremony, airing December 6th on NBC and E! In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
This one's about smiling, just thinking positive. A new study finds that pretending to smile might put you in a better mood. Nearly 4,000 people from 19 different countries participated in that study.
Researchers from Stanford University divided the participants into 3 different groups. They asked them to do 3 different techniques to stimulate smile muscles. Half of the people in each group did the techniques while looking at blank screens. The other half were shown cheerful photos of kittens, flowers, and puppies. Researchers found that there were significant increases in happiness among people who mimicked smiling and those who didn't.
Kind of a fake it till you make it kind of thing?
I see
maybe?
What they're trying to say,
yeah.
But I think what also can make you more happy is if you're not happy at the moment, just address that you're bummed or you're sad or you're mad, and then you can work through that. This is what a therapist would say.
Right. Have you ever woken up in a bad mood, though, and say, you could let it ruin your day, or you could say, I'm just not going to do this, and consciously make a decision to maybe be a little happier.
And that's the other end of the card. I mean, I've heard people say, and I try to practice this myself, if you wake up in a bad mood, try to think of 3 things you're really thankful for.
Yep.
And that's a good way to think about that.
That helps. And so that's thinking positive and hopefully, causing more positivity.
Right. It's okay if you can't, you know? And then there's always the next day.
We're meant to have bad days. We're meant to have bad thoughts. You just deal with it.
Absolutely. And that's why you have so many nice thoughts, is because of the balance.
You're wicked smart, Emma.
No, we get along. We get along for a reason.
You got to think positive, do nice things for people, and the more you live a positive life,
absolutely,
the more positive we'll have.
Yeah, we're spreading it. We're trying to.
We're spreading something here. All right. Let me look at this. We still have a little bit more time, so we might as well tell you about this drug take-back day that's coming. Bangor Police Department sent this out. And not only Bangor Police Department, a lot of law enforcement agencies around the state will be doing this. On Friday and Saturday, October 28th and 29th, the Bangor PD and Penobscot County Sheriffs will be at the Airport Mall on Union Street